So I don't know if y'all heard about this, but first of all, salute to all you know, salute to Jason Lee. Speaking of schools, so California. Speaking of which, um, they're always leading the way for innovations, for technology, and for safety, and for new policies. So the implementation of a new QR code policy at a high school in California has raised concerns among students due to privacy issues. The policy, introduced at the start of 2024 or 2025 school year, mandates that students scan a QR code with their phones before using the bathroom. Huntington Beach as Huntington Beach as a way to track whereabouts better. However, many students feel that it infringes on their privacy. According to Fox 11, students are frustrated because they have to scan a code to use the bathroom. Nonetheless, some students believe the policy can prevent others from skipping class or wandering the halls. Oh, interesting. There's some videos, so we'll take a listen to more about it and what the students feel about it.
Being rolled out at a high school in Orange County. Students there actually have to download an app and scan the code anytime they want to leave the classroom.
Now, that includes going to the nurse, the library, or the bathroom. Not everyone is embracing the new policy. NBC4's Amber Frias is live from Huntington Beach with reaction from Edison High School. Amber.
Annabelle, Colleen, this new policy started this new school year, and most students aren't too happy about it. They say it's unfair and an invasion of privacy. Students against this policy even started a petition. These days, QR codes seem to be popping up everywhere, from restaurants to parking spaces, and now even high schools.
You go to check in, you click scan, and then you scan the QR code in your class.
At Edison High School in Huntington Beach, administrators have implemented a new policy. Students must scan a QR code posted in classrooms when they need to leave for reasons like using the bathroom.
So it's like we're saying, a QR code system for going to the bathroom back in the day. Back in my day, all you had to do was raise your hands. Did you guys have bathroom passes? Or was that some cartoon shit?
In elementary school.
Really? Interesting. You just have to raise your hand and ask go to the bathroom. And even having that conversation, it's kind of ironic, or not ironic, but just when you're far removed from it, it's kind of funny. But just the system of having to ask to use the bathroom in a world in which you could actually could potentially be denied. But yeah, but these days they're trying to implement new things. From my understanding, all for the sake of safety. But QR codes. Let's see what the students have to say.
To scan out with our phones, and you have 5 minutes to come back, and you can't bring your phone to the bathroom.
When they return, they scan the same QR code again. Principal Daniel Morris told the OC Register the new guidelines are to ensure the school knows where students are in case of an emergency. But the policy has caused quite a stir among students.
The kid feels kind of bad. I gotta scan a QR code. I got a limited amount of time.
I don't like it because I feel I can't I don't know, if something were to happen and I'm in the bathroom, I don't have my phone or anything on me.
Some students are pushing back, even starting a petition to remove the QR codes, saying the policy, quote, goes against the government's duty to protect the health and safety of students, end quote. Parents, however, have mixed reactions.
I understand maybe why they want to do that, because maybe some people are taking advantage of it. But the other side of it, I think some people might have I don't know, anxiety or social, just some kind of anxiety.
Damn. Have anxiety because you have to go, because you have to do the QR code. Anyway, so yeah, that's the basic premise. I think we all kind of understand exactly what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's maybe too much to deep dive here. It's kind of just in case you missed it. But obviously, whenever you see these innovations in the way of things that they're implementing in schools, it's always kind of a eyebrow raiser to whether you think it's a productive or a viable strategy or something that's worth implementing. So I'm just kind of curious to know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this type of policy that they're implementing? Do you think it doesn't make sense for what they're trying to accomplish as far as just kind of keeping track of students and making sure they have a good grasp where everybody's at and where everybody should be? Do you think are you on their side where it's kind of an invasion of privacy? So it's Cardi B. Um, what would y'all have thought about something like this if y'all were in school at that time and they had this type of rule in place? What do you think, Ace?
Um, Overall, I don't really um I don't really see this as a problem overall. Like the concerns about privacy, I don't even really get like student doesn't need or scanning a QR code doesn't increase their privacy. It just says that they've left the classroom. So you're in school, like I don't think
Well, I mean, it takes away from the privacy because they probably have a semblance of where you're going.
uh do they? I didn't get that from the thing. I just thought it tracked how long they were out of the classroom. But yeah, maybe it does say, or
Fair
maybe there
enough.
is some indication of where they're going to. But
Fair enough.
still,
I
like
just mean all it's keeping track in a sense. It's in a sense keeping track of your whereabouts, and you could argue that
yeah,
takes away from your in general privacy.
yeah. But I mean, I just don't think like privacy should in particular be a concern. Like if you're going to the bathroom, yeah, if you need to go to the bathroom, you say you're going to the bathroom, you should be going to the bathroom. So if you don't go to the bathroom, there's a problem. I mean, not necessarily a problem, but like why like so
Well,
why didn't you do what you said you were going to do is a it could be a potential problem.
I know we're a bit removed, but come on, you remember back in the day where you say, "Hey, let me go to the bathroom." But then you stop by your homeboy class, peek in, see what he's doing. You might see Shorty in the hallway. You gotta chop it up with her for a sec. You might, I don't know, if you have a school that has like a vending machine, you might stop at the vending machine, grab a Gatorade or whatever in the vending machine. You might like going to the bathroom. You're not just going to the bathroom and coming back. You kind of take a little break, right?
No, first of all, no, I did not do any of that when I was just going to the
Come on, that's
bathroom.
cap.
But no, but like I guess I can kind of see your point, but at the same time, like you're in school because you're supposed to be learning and doing the things
Come on,
yeah, doing the
come
things
on,
that
Grandpa.
hey, that's what it is. Like if you don't have time to go stop by your buddy's class and all this stuff, like that's I don't see that as a huge like detriment to the kid's life. Like it's fine. Now you can only go to the bathroom, come back to the class. And I would assume like if there are any extenuating circumstances that would be taken into account. So I guess like we can get into my potential gripes now. So if this is implemented as a like strictly rigid system where say there's a certain time limit that you have to be out the classroom, and if you exceed it, like you're immediately reprimanded, get detention or something, or if there's like a limit to the number of times you can go to the bath or be out the classroom, and again if there's like immediate reprimand if you regardless of the reason if you exceed, then I think um you definitely get into hot water because you know if there's a kid who whatever just drinks a lot of water or a kid who has some health concerns that requires them to um um take multiple trips to wherever the nurse or the bathroom or whatever, um you are definitely getting into hot water in terms of like I don't know what freedoms this would be called, but you're infringing on something. So I guess in the rigidity of how this QR thing is implemented, that's where it can become a problem. Um, So with the school saying like their overall goal is to um track the students' whereabouts in basically like in case of an emergency, um I would think that there would be uh some like leeway in terms of those things, like if there's any limits or anything like that. Like it wouldn't be just an immediate detention. It would be something like, well, um there's an understand like there's the teacher, if the teacher doesn't flag it or something like that, then the student is not at risk or anything like that. But that's my only concern with it. um I think that's it. Yeah, other than that, I don't think I have any issues. Yeah, I don't think I have any issues.
And that would suck. You get detention because the QR you didn't punch in the QR code. Damn.
Right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How about you, Ghost? What do you think of this type of policy? Do you think it in general makes sense? Would you be pissed off if you had to do the QR punch in, punch out back in the day?
Um, Honestly, no. Like all this stuff about privacy and I guess like pretty much what Ace was saying in that I don't think it should be used to track students necessarily. Like there shouldn't be a time limit enforced. There shouldn't be a location on the app or anything. It should just be kind of like just similar to like a time card where you punch in certain time, punch out at a certain
Dude,
time. If the discrepancy,
there's no way they don't keep track of location. If it's all app,
well,
I can imagine it's like you do you say where you're going, you do the QR code, and then the clock starts ticking.
yeah. Well, I mean, if it's tracking location, then it's I'm not for it. But if it's just literally just
What is the
QR
point of
code,
what is the point of the implementation if you're not tracking the?
the point of it in my mind and what it should be for is I mean, the real reason for this administration is talking about in event of an emergency. No, it's because kids are bad. That's really what it boils down to. And
Facts.
if something happens in the bathroom, something gets vandalized, if something gets stolen from another
In this
classroom,
day and age, if they're assembling their AR magazine and
yeah,
drum,
if something crazy is going on, then you can look at a database. Okay, who punched out or used a QR code at X time, who left, and then just look at the time frames between whatever the deed happened when the QR codes are punched, and use that to narrow down your suspects. That is what I think it should be
But you
used
could
for.
still do that in an emergency too.
Well, I mean, I I don't get what
Like
you.
emergency goes on and you immediately have the ability to check which kids were or logged as in class and versus out. So you know at least
you
Yeah,
think
I mean, I'm
you think a
saying that you
teach
can't.
you
It
think a
doesn't have
teacher
functionality
that
in an
has
emergency,
wait, are you
but
saying when you say emergency, are you saying without the use of the app?
with it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm not saying that there's no functionality for an emergency too. I'm not saying that, but the real purpose is, I think, for what I was is because kids are bad, and I don't think that location tracking, live location tracking, should not be implemented in an app like this because it is pretty big, uh, pretty big infringement on privacy. When you factor in the fact that the kids are not always at school, they're not always going to have that app on, or
Who says it's on outside of the school?
if it's an app on the phone and it's tracking location, then it's going to be tracking the location at all times.
I don't, and I guess without
How would
knowing
it
this,
not? I don't.
Only when it's active. Like say the QR code is the only thing that can activate the location
Okay,
tracking.
well, all right. If that's the case, then sure. I'm not really hung up on the gripes of that as long as it's not any egregious infractions. But all the other stuff about anxiety, bro, it's we had to do, well, we didn't have to do, but they had the stupid hall passes that you mentioned. They had hall monitors back in the day. They had all this
Yeah,
stuff.
hall monitors. Yeah.
I've
It,
never seen a hall monitor
this
IRL. Knock it off.
like in lieu of that stuff, the QR code, it is what it is. It's implemented and it should be used so kids have there's some level of accountability when kids do BS that they might think twice about doing it because they can get busted. At the end of the day, that's really what it's for. and I don't have a problem with it as long as it's not implemented in a crazy way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that illustrates that off the clock when you go home or outside of the school, the school is keeping track of you. Obviously, maybe without knowing some of the hard fine details, it does make a difference. But I think it's literally just while you're in the confines of the school, if you want to go to the bathroom, if you want to go to the nurse, all the other places that they said, you have to punch in QR code, say where you're going, and then the timer starts ticking. But who knows? Getting a little conspiracy theory on you guys, because you guys seem to not really care, and that's really, to be honest, I think most parents probably wouldn't have a big deal about this. Um, what if, what if, reason with me now, the government came in and said, "Hey, this is not a bad idea. How about we make it so whenever you leave your house, whenever you want to leave your house, you do a little QR punch in, punch out, just so we have a general idea of where everyone's up to, what everyone's up to. Are you going to the bank? All right, let us know. Y'all still cool?
If there's a QR code on the bank door.
No, on your house door.
For one,
Why not? Silly now.
What do you mean?
you're acting like the government can't track you now if they wanted to at any point.
That
with
is
your phone.
very true.
When
Hey,
they
we're
get out.
actually that's actually gonna segue into the next thing. But yeah, to be honest, in this day and age, and going back to the thing of like keeping people out of trouble, I think even though it is a pain, it can be a pain. That's really what it boils down to. I think there are just so many ways in which people can, left to their own devices, can get themselves in trouble in times of emergency or trouble. I think it does. I think we'll always look at, like, if this can prevent something, or if it can identify what's going on in the situation. I think people will look at it as a net positive. But yeah, I could obviously understand that, being a student, whenever they implement new rules in school, it's always a pain. Like back in my day, they implemented uniforms in my like public school system, and they literally said, we're trying to curb students wearing certain colors representing like gangs and stuff, and like it was like a pain in the butt to have to wear specific things, but dang, you do it for a couple of years, and it's just a part of your way of life. So yeah, maybe years from now, if they keep rolling out stuff like this, it'll just be a part of school, like just how people interact with schools. But yeah, no, I get it. Kids are always, or yeah, young students and kids are always gonna think stuff is just a pain in the butt. Um, yeah, I get it. But if there's nothing else, we can move on to the next topic.